Now, after he's captured on a secret mission to Laos during the early stages of the Vietnam War, pilot Dieter Dankler, played by Christian Bale, is imprisoned in a camp deep in the jungle. There, with the help of several other POWs, he makes his escape. Rescue Dawn is closer to Robert Bresson's A Man Escaped than to the jingoistic NAM adventures we're accustomed to. Director Werner Herzog approaches to the question of why a man tries to fight against the odds. Is very cerebral and coolly crafted. This is a fiction version, by the way, of Herzog's documentary Little Dieter Needs to Fly, but the realistic touches are everywhere in this very plausible and gripping story.
Your turn. What, my turn? Yeah. Stack it up. Oh, all right. You ready? Bottom shelf, raspberry pie.
Okay.
The way my mom makes it with the crust as thick as a steak. And on top shelf is a turkey. And I'm not talking Thanksgiving big. I'm talking an obscene, enormous, like 35-pound turkey with breasts the size of Jane Mansfield's. You know what I mean? With the gravy, stuffing, 6-pack of Budweiser.
No. No, I prefer the Bavarian Stein, you know?
Okay.
And it's so cool. You
Right,
get the
that's in
mist on
your
the side
fridge.
of the
This is
mug.
my fridge,
Okay.
right?
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
6-pack stays where it is.
Yeah.
I was kind of dreading this film because I'd read the New Yorker article about the location shooting down in Southeast Asia, and it sounded like a really savage and sadistic movie in a lot of ways. And people have the reputation this is a very, like really too tough to watch. Actually, because Herzog's such a remote guy, it's not too painful to watch. And I feel like every anecdote of something dreadful that happened to Dangler and his fellow prisoners was done in a way that was more illustrative of what happened than it was trying to manipulate the audience or make their guts writhe. I think Christian Bale showing him as like one of the most not just one of the bravest actors around, but also one of the most subtle ones, playing this character and not making any great claims for his larger than life qualities. In fact, playing it the other way around.
Yeah, I agree. One of the things that impressed me about this film was Bale's portrayal of Dieter, who is really doesn't get a lot of the political implications of what is going on.
I think he's like a lot of soldiers that are out there.
Absolutely.
They don't care. They're not there to care about politics.
Exactly. Yeah, it was a very interesting portrayal, which took him down from the heroic. But again, I'm very interested to see Herzog's obsession with survival and the reason and how people survive, especially in remote locations.
Yeah.
We go back to Gary, The Wrath of God,
Right.
and the stories coming out of the shooting of that film, and then Fitzcarraldo with the death of those people hauling that,
that ridiculous
boat over the mountain.
Herzog's old nemesis, the jungle, and he's back at it again. And it's funny to hear people describe the the kind of rapturousness of this primeval jungle, and it really does look like a green hell. You can see how that greenness would just really close in on you, even if you had fantasies of retiring to a tropical island,
But at the same time, I've got to say that, Herzog is so fascinating to watch his films and hear him. We remember Grizzly Man,
Man, that was like one of the best things I saw that year.
But there is a love of death in this guy that it was really amazing.
Yeah.
The opening of this film is one of the most terrifying I have ever seen because it is so beautiful.
Yeah.
It is this slow motion, elegiacally music background, a plane's view, and it obviously is from documentary footage of the bombing of this river and the villages on it with napalm. And it is gorgeous, and you realize, my good Lord, what am I doing? People are being incinerated.
Yeah, man in planes shooting elephants, as Michael Harris says.
Yeah.
It's I think that it's funny because that's Coppola is the person that made that the most rhapsodic, and Herzog's work here is very much a corrective to Apocalypse Now and to the idea of the jungle driving, the men going native in the jungle. I think he thinks the jungle just drags everybody down to its level. Right. And so, and let's mention really quickly Steve Zahn and Jeremy Davies, who I thought were both brilliant.
Wonderful. And it's great to see Steve Zahn really opening up from the comic actor he was to
this is his finest and most nuanced performance of this great comic actor.
Yeah, I'd strongly recommend the film.